Right.
And we is
Sorry.
live. Okay.
I have to be snarky. It's my
Yeah.
way.
hmm
Rolling.
And yes,
Hello.
on the
Around
birth
6 hours.
my birthday 2 days ago, so it's time to stop looking like the wild man of Borneo.
Something like that.
It was getting bad, especially the neck area. It's like, oh, good God, I thought it was going to take forever to get rid of it. The figure might also help my little rant, so I'm not looking like a creepy old Santa. It's like,
A lot of guys end up looking like a creepy old Santa as they
yeah.
age. No, my
Anyway,
driving instructor did, but he found it funny every time kids came up to him when we were out. Because there's a defensive driving instructor for the military in
yeah.
a foul mouthed pervert.
hmm
And they all acted like he was Santa because he was this great Batman.
Mommy, Santa said the F bomb. Hello, Dustin. Figured
Something along
just to throw a stream up here and get something going here. Hope I should actually do another Star Trek review thing coming up soon. I have finally got the final element to being totally self-sufficient on this computer and not have to go back to Steph's laptop. I found probably the only copy of Cool Edit Pro on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's the editing software I use over there. Because that's what I trained with in the last school I went to, and they used it up at KGNU. So I like it. I like it. Adobe Audition's fine, and I might get that one too. But I like Cool Edit. I know the way around it. And I said, well, what the hell? It's like, take a look on eBay. Found one copy.
And I went, mine now.
Oh yeah, mine. Especially well, the frustrating thing is my paycheck was about a day late. Otherwise, I'd have snacked it right then. I had to put it on wait list. So I put this up, have some payback later, and now this is sit tight, and sure enough, around midnight it finally hit.
I think off we go into the wild blue yonder, except for it's black as crap right now.
Ah well. But yeah, Steph got
Tomato,
me a couple
tomato.
of DVDs here, so.
My shiny daffodil.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be interesting because my husband's here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get that so I get confused.
Lord save us all.
Uh-huh. No, Steph got me a couple of DVD, and this kind of spread out a bit over the days. It wasn't necessarily on the day, but let's see. There was the Gates McFadden documentary series, The Center Seat, which will be fun. I have it down, but things that got some extras on there, like some interviews with Leonard Nimoy and Kirstie Alley and Nichelle Nichols. Okay, that alone, that's worth the extra of him getting the DVD. And also the Smithsonian thing, building where it's supposed to be about restoring the Enterprise model, but also goes on to other stuff like the Pop Culture Museum in Seattle. They got their hands on the original command chair and helm from the bridge.
That's cool.
They were in very the command chair had been looked after a little bit. The helm was in shitty shape, so they had to do a major restoration on that one. But it was kind of thing like it was listening. The command chair was listening to Bob Justman's thing, talking about the little Providence. Like he was a friend of his that he called. They're tearing down the set. Get down here before they throw it on the dumpster. Get what you want. So the guy managed to rescue this command chair, and then somebody else got the helm.
They do stuff like that because any of these sets are a part of Americana history.
At that point, it was three seasons on NBC, mediocre ratings, and it might get picked up or whatever. We're not needing these anymore. Some of the flats are probably still at UCLA being used in the theater department.
There's a lot of shows that had 1 or 2 seasons that ended up being a big part of history.
Back in those days, though, it was
especially if you look at a lot of those shows in that era.
Yeah, you had to get at least 100 episodes to be insured of getting syndication. Or if you're, a show like Star Trek, actually they did pre-sell it to syndication before the 3rd season. when Paramount took over, and they're looking to dump a lot of crap. And
oh yeah, my point was that even a lot of shows that didn't have that didn't syndicate back then, have become a part of the American culture since, like F Troop.
Yeah.
I mean, Addams Family and Munsters didn't even reach that.
Strange enough, I don't recall them ever running F Troop out here. That is weird. I never have seen F Troop.
They used to run it all the time on Nick at Night when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically nobody's run it since because it's considered too offensive.
Well, remember, when I was a little kid, cable was what you had if you lived way out in the boonies and couldn't pick up a signal. Okay. And they only covered the local state, the technically local station. So I never saw, you saw the stuff only like Channel 2, with an independent station.
I didn't have Italy for anything until we got older, but we picked up the Nick at Night stuff when I got a little bit older, and that's when we had it. And by the time I was a teenager, a few years later, they basically didn't want to run it anywhere anymore because it offended people, even in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which is why I have both seasons.
Mm-hmm. Okay, question here about the Enterprise. Basically, J.J. Abrams has Star Destroyer envy. He's a big Star.
What he has.
He's a Star Wars guy. He said, "I didn't get Star Trek. My friends, I understood it. I couldn't. It was too philosophical for me." Which, of course, begs the question: then what the fuck are you doing directing a Star Trek movie? Go the fuck away. But they hired him because he was a wunderkind.
All I need to do to be JJ is stick a light behind me and start flashing it while we're talking.
Yeah.
And make sure it flares in the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm J.J. Abrams. Brainless and lens flare. That's what you got.
Yeah. Yeah, my message to J.J. Abrams. Yeah. Okay. Somehow, they got that this ship is not big enough for 430 people. You could fit 430 people in this little spot right here. Okay? There's plenty of room. Stop thinking 20th century. There's enough room for everybody on the ship to have their own
Never mind, I'm not going to say that. And trust me, it wasn't just that. It was much worse.
Well, again, just that trailer he did where they're basically with welders on there, like they're building the fucking Titanic. It's like, this is a 23rd century warp-driven starship, and you're what? Are we at Belfast? What the hell's wrong with you? Okay.
Oh well, screw it. I'll say it anyway. He's get his head out of Kathleen Kennedy's SWAT.
Yeah, the brewery and van up in that. That's good for an engine room. But you idiot.
He just is a clueless hack. He has no brains, no creativity, no originality. He sucks onto somebody else's idea and kills it.
Yeah. He is a cultural parasite. Yeah.
Whatever he touches dies.
Eventually, yeah. And this supposedly, original stuff, Fringe, that was such a blatant X-Files ripoff. I never even bothered with it. Lost was kind of a mashup between Twilight Zone and Gilligan's Island. Okay. Alias was standard spy stuff,
Everything I've seen that he's done, whether people liked it or not, was honestly derivative as crap.
Yeah, everything's derivative of something else. Yeah.
He's like, the equivalent of Disney trying to claim they're making an original kids movie. It's not original. I guarantee you they took it from someone.
Yeah. Well, they're committing the ultimate act of self-destruction. They're shitting on Snow White.
Oh, yeah,
the reason they have a fucking studio is because of Snow White. There's a reason why the Seven Dwarfs are on top of the damn building.
This is like literally, you go to Africa and you find a myth about somebody whose skin is as dark as midnight, and you make her another race. That would be the equivalent.
Yeah.
She's literally defined as skin as white as snow.
Hence the name.
Basically a gothic albino is how she's described in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to make her what? And so me and Steve were talking about this. It's like, they made the kingdom she's thin, homogenous. They made no reference to where in the world they were, any of the culture around them, any of that. They made it the kingdom. The big deal was her skin and her persecution.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you wanted to try to do race swaps, if you wanted to try to make it cultural to other places in the world, couldn't you do, say, an African kingdom and have an albino princess?
That wouldn't work.
It would make more sense than what they're doing now.
True, yeah, but it's like...
It could be done and work, but the point is, that would actually take a lot more creativity and thought than what they're doing now, too.
Yeah, they'd have to think. You know.
And I'm not saying I support or like race swaps. I don't. You know that.
Yeah.
But at least if you're going to try to do that, try to work it in a way where you're not changing the main characteristics of the story.
And kind of missing the entire point. The reason why she's called Snow White, you know? Because she is very, very white. Yes.
There's a reason I can empathize with the poor.
She's a white bitch. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
She was literally, and the thing is that it was from an era and a time, and I can get into other things. It's actually one of the most homogenous and most racially not divisive stories that the Grimm brothers wrote. They've got some racist shit in their stuff if you read it.
Yeah.
They've got ones where literally define having black skin as being marked by the devil and satanic.
Yeah.
They've got all kinds of things, including other ones. Somehow Snow White's this sweet, pure thing with raven hair, but other ones they do this stereotypes of raven hair being a mark of darkness and stuff like that. See, Grimm brothers were twisted as hell, and they definitely were bigoted.
Oh yeah.
But
they're products of their time.
Yes, and that's the thing. And everything they wrote, they were not original stories they wrote. They were stories they created based on folklore and fairy tales they'd heard from people. And
which is typical of the day. It's like Shakespeare, same thing. Very few of his stories were original to him. They were based on other. There were other plays about Richard III and other King Lear's. So it's so it's typical. Oh, what's your take on him? Everyone had their own little version of it.
Although I actually believe there's something to the theory that there was actually several people writing together as Shakespeare. There were too many things. There were, for one reason, there were too many things that were very explicit, very detailed that he knew that only people from that class really knew. That went to every class party.
People knew what was going on. It was like the gossip column of the back day. You knew what was going on in there.
No. I'm talking about specific trade secrets and stuff like that. Factual things on different building types or behavioral codes in the kingdom and stuff like that were very class specific that he did know.
And they were the king's acting troupe for a while. They had to know how to act around people. And it wasn't like it was some state, secret of how you must. No, if you're being brought forth, you were taught how to behave. Okay. They went. It was how you behave in court.
No. You're not getting what I'm talking about. Really specific stuff that had to do with being involved in very specific trades that were class set.
Yeah.
That really were secrets to that class. Are referenced throughout his writing in each class system. Accurate.
The acting troupe was a very broad class of beyond. There's a lot of people, very broad class. I mean, Burbage was, this family was, builders and architects. They built the Globe Theater.
Yeah, that's not what I'm referencing.
Harbinger, but stuff like everybody, someone in the troupe knew something.
Robert, that's not what I'm talking about. He knew specifics about how people were buried and taken care of by morticians, about certain building habits of peasants when they were building huts, stuff like that nobody outside of that class knew. And it was considered inappropriate for upper class to learn. But also knew ins and outs of the inner workings of the kingdom because he was in the upper class. But the theory was that either there were more people than one writing, or that he had basically informants and ghostwriters helping him write some of them to get some of the information he needed on those classes.
I wouldn't say ghostwriters, but he definitely paid attention to what went around, and they knew people. They had patrons, you know.
But I
lords,
don't.
you know.
I think there's a very real possibility, and something we'll never know.
Yeah.
It's a theory because there's things that didn't add up and times that didn't add up, but it's something we don't know. Myself, from researching and studying him obsessively since I was little, personally believe it because the writing style is not consistent.
It's fairly especially if you go chronology, you know, they had the developments of it, it's still pretty consistent to him. And writing style is very specific. Yeah, you look, but
I'm going to disagree. I am going to disagree on that as a Shakespeare.
I try to say like other people wrote, like, you know, Marlowe. Marlowe had a completely different style. You know, like Tamerlane or Edward III. Like, oh my God, no way is this Shakespeare. No, this is too upon bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was completely different. It's that speech style, patterning, and personality did split between some of the books quite significantly. The overall writing style was the same, but a lot of the personality behind it wasn't. And that's things that are usually consistent with writers. And that's why I've always thought there was something off with some folks.
Very tumultuous life, you go think. So I'm going to track down, there was a connection with the BBC, but Michael Wood special, In Search of Shakespeare, Church of William Shakespeare. And they go through and track him down. Yeah, early childhood in Warwickshire and something.
Trust me, I have researched him like hell, and I've read everything by the time I was very little. That's why I say this, and I'm not saying this as an insult. I'm not saying this to say he doesn't deserve credit for what he did. I'm saying that some of the theories on him are insane, and some of them might have some merit based on his writing style. And maybe people won't agree with me, but I still think there's something more to that. And that does the, you know, turmoil-ridden writer. It's certain patterns that I recognize, especially with that, you know, really hyper-obsessive brain. But,
you know, we went through some shit, okay?
Well, the thing is, there is truth to the thing about writers needing pain.
Yeah.
The whole line from Every Rose Has a Thorn, and like the poet needs the pain. That's real.
Yeah.
Especially with poetry. You're not a good poet if you haven't suffered.
You gotta be motivated, and usually it's a kick in the ass. Okay. Do not recall to you as anybody? No, it didn't. But it wasn't that big a ship. Okay. It's about the size of a modern day aircraft carrier, slightly smaller, in fact. Just about 20 feet short. Yep, there he is.
What? I love you.
Now, like I said, you know, oops, shit's falling over here. Oh, damn it. I hate when this happens.
Wow, you can see so much out the windows here, right?
That's why they frown upon you having a big light on and while you're driving.
I just put the little light on my side on. That's
Here's the Disco Prize. It's a very nice design. It ain't the Enterprise in my book.
No.
But this was actually John E's proposal for the NX-01. But Berman rejected it. No, it's too much like Kirk's Enterprise. Try again. Brought it, and Doug Drexler got his in, and he deliberately left off the secondary hull. He wanted to look a little unfinished, so that they would have some place to progress to. And so the idea was they got a fifth season, then you get the hull on there. Okay, now the pattern's set, and you go on. But I figure, you know, because I've decided I want to, in my own head canon, I want to keep this one in there, smaller. Reduced to just slightly smaller than, you know, the thing to fit in between the NX. And I call this the Yorktown class. My own little homage to early days of Star Trek. So here we go, you know, but probably there's mixed in there, but you had the NX class, then you go into Federation, Yorktown class, then you got this jobber, which is not Constitution, it's actually, I call Bonhomme Richard, because again, it turns out just slightly smaller and chunkier than the Constitution class. Figure based upon, figure bridge modules are pretty universal. So based on that, it comes up maybe, 5 feet shorter.
Yeah.
Because, no, this is not screen accurate to the 11-foot model, but it is screen accurate to the Constellation, which is old. That number old enough to be an older class. I figured this thing's been around since the 2220s. That one late 22nd, Have we got the Amato up here? There we are.
By the way, I was just trying to figure out things with him. I don't know if you know what I mean when I was talking to him about dignity.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know what that statue is. They put it up a few years ago in the overlooking rest stop area for Chamberlain versus crossing the Missouri River. It is a massive, intricate metal working statue of a Native woman based on several people from the tribe. Really beautiful. And sometimes at night they light it up so you get to see the intricacy of the star quilt stuff she has in the statue. So it's like, when we get there, she's split up. We might as well go in. I can show you it. It's still on. Sometimes when we're on, we talk for a long time.
I'm not doing anything. Let's see. Theory of the Disco, New World. They're too different. Those shapes are totally different. It's just it's just an older. I just have a much older class. Now, one thing, I'm not going to let Michael cut a hook there because he's like, no, that was the wrong number. Sorry. But we are in Rail Riker, spelled NCC 1305E USS Yamato, which means you had to have, the first one. That dates back to this sucker. Spoken dialogue trumps background graphics. Sorry, Mike. He read the number up very clearly and identified the ship by it. You're stuck with that number. Okay. And somewhere I think I had a Galaxy class Yamato with the E on it. Now, whether or not there's a 1305A, that is a Constitution or Constitution refit, probably.
Did Stephanie see the pictures I posted morning this morning?
I don't know. She probably. Steph, did you see the picture that Rosetta posted this morning?
Henri.
Of Henri, I think. I got some pictures of Henri or him, or her curled up next to her. Okay, she saw him. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I know she always likes to see the kitty, so I thought I'd see if she did.
Yeah. Yeah, with the.
That's right, hon. Bye.
And the way the Constitution class goes out, the Enterprise is launched in 2245. And I got that thing here. Yes, it's a clutter, but somewhere in this mess, the 1/1000 of the pilot version of the Constitution. I mean, at that point, the only difference was.
So I can have cherries.
Okay. But the only difference at that point was the bridge dome was higher, it spikes on the engine and the Bussards and the larger dish. That's the just swap out the Bussards, sink the bridge down, get a smaller dish, and you're still the same ship. Which is what they did with the model, really. Just chop the bridge down, swap out the spikes for lighted domes, and smaller, and just cut away the dish. But the other side, it's too different. You can't. Refitting a ship is not, when you take shapes that differently. It's like because. And again, that being said, justifying the movie refit, there's only really the superstructure was left, and probably not even much of that. I think everything below the secondary hull, everything below the saucer was new, because the shapes are so totally different, and they're all replaceable elements in. But the main section is the saucer, so you got basically the underlying structure built out a little bit.
A good example of the same ship with modernized updates.
Yeah.
Look at what they did with the shipborne for the Enterprise in motion picture.
Mhm.
So
Well,
it's
think
still
what they
the
were doing.
freaking Enterprise.
What they were going to do for Phase 2 was like the saucer was going to be pretty much unchanged from the original series. The only difference was going to be two turbolift tubes visible on the outer dome. Otherwise, it's going to be the same upper hull. Everything else is going to be swapped out, which would have been a slightly more believable refit because the movie they got a little crazy, but it's still you can almost justify it as being a refit if you got enough underlying structure in there. But it was enough that essentially it no longer was a Constitution class ship. It was its own prototype.
Yeah, but at least it still looked like the Enterprise is what I'm getting for that one.
Yeah. It was still, okay, it's different, but other than that, because the untrained eye, to the mundanes, they look alike. Never mind the fact the engines are totally different. It's like, what do you mean? Look at this. No, it's saying to me. They wonder why we call you mundanes. Okay. But that's the thing of like why I can say this is not a Constitution class ship because to the untrained eye, this and 11-footer look identical. It's only when you get rid of the nitty-gritty details nobody cares about that you can say, yeah, and that's the thing with aircraft carriers. Any aircraft carrier built from like the 1950s on to today look alike. It's what they can do. The difference is, from Kitty Hawk, from Nimitz, from Gerald Ford, Intrepid, It's like what's the power source, what's its capabilities. That's where a ship class really gets broken down into which ship is which. It's like aircraft carriers, like Starship. It's a certain type of vessel, and from there you get into Constitution class, Yorktown class, that sort of thing. Try and take into account the weirdness of the register numbers, a little real world, how fleets really operate.
Yeah, I know. It's weird some of the changes they make.
Well, some of the changes some people want to sell them. They said, let's see one thing trying to justify the Constellation as originally looking like a Daedalus class with a big ball on the front and the beer can and tennis balls design. Thing. No, you don't need to go that crazy. Okay. Now the thing is, there's enough stuff within the movies that to justify. Yes, the refit was an Enterprise class ship. It was no longer Constitution class. It was totally different warp, warp drive system and everything. So, whereas later versions, the Enterprise A, when he threw the thing Constitution class, well, yeah, because by then they'd worked out all the bugs and they changed this. They got different systems on there. Because the Enterprise A is totally different engine room than the Enterprise. Granted, they were reusing the next gen's engine room, but still, there's your on-screen there. Different warp core, probably different location on the ship too. And I can justify that by them adding the markings on the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, these little things on there, the circle in there. I figured, they had no idea what they were at the time. That's your warp core ejection port right there, which means that's where engineering is. Right about there. That's your warp core engine room somewhere around here, and the power goes back to the. I've got very detailed plans on this, of course. I've been working on them for years.
The Enterprise, no bloody A, B, C, or D.
Okay, yeah, that was pushing it when changing the Titan around. It was, but again, there was only it was really recycled into, and also Neo Constitution. That's a lousy name, But again, if you're just using the raw materials of it, with just when you're keeping the drive systems and just lunar cells, but it does a little bit more capability to 24th century or early 25th century, shipwrights, and that they could take what you got there and totally reshape it into something else. But you're not going to call it a Luna class at that point. So it's consistent in one way, but kind of wackadoo in the other. So, and since it wasn't going to stay, the Titan A anyway. So,
Well, as we talked about, every Star Trek has had its problems. None of them have been perfect and flawless. It's just perfect consistency.
I mean, it's one of the reasons for the concordance is to try and make sense of all this. Some of the things do require some work. Kirk's backstory is a mess. Okay, you got to pull.
That's probably just what happens also when you have different writers coming in and out of projects over years and decades.
And also, just within the original series, they're kind of making it up as they go along. So what was Kirk's first assignment? Was it the Republic or was it the Farragut? And okay, you got to kind of pull from a far field here. Okay, well, let's see. Let's figure that Kirk was one of those lucky few that got an early promotion to ensign before graduation. His time on the Republic was a cadet cruise, which they do. Towards the end of your term with the academy, you send you out on board a ship somewhere to learn the ropes in the field, type of thing. So that's what that is. Whereas the Farragut was his first assignment out of the academy. At this point, he's coming out of the academy as lieutenant junior grade, which also flies in the face of here's a rule. No, he was not a rule breaker. He was a by the book officer for the most part. It was only when the book didn't make any sense. That's when he flew by the seat of his pants. But mostly he was very by the book.
Let's be honest. Some of the stuff they added to both Kirk and Picard throughout the shows and movies was added because they were trying to find a way to harmonize different story points that had gotten thrown in out of the blue that didn't match each other.
Yeah. Okay, how the Soma class, they're lazy. The entire show is a testament how lazy they are. They don't want to bother trying to keep it consistent, but they'll strip mine for ideas and names. They want to bring all these characters with things, but there's no thought in the point of why is this person on this ship at this time? And Benga and Chapel and Uhura, they have no business being on the Enterprise during this time period. And we already have where's Dr. Boyce? Yeah. Where's Tyler? Where are the guys we saw in the cage? Yeah. The only ones we see should be Pike, number one, and Spock. We have seen none of the other crew that we did see in the cage. No, where's Yeoman Colt? Where the hell? Come on. It's like if you're gonna reboot the show, just reboot the damn thing. Again, only in the past few weeks they finally changed so much they had to. They changed the timeline. Well, guess what then? You're not canon. You think you're rewriting canon? No, canon's set. You ain't changing it. There is no changing it. It's set. It's the canon.
Except the canon or be hit by one. I mean.
Yeah. No, you're either compliant with canon or you're non-canon. There is no in between there. You cannot change it. It is not an option. I don't give a shit what CBS says. You can't change canon. The only ones to add to it was either Roddenberry or those Roddenberry appointed to act on his behalf, like Rick Berman, Michael Piller, Braga, more.
When you said you can't just change canon like that, I felt like I could feel a disturbance in the force from Kathleen Kennedy spasming.
Star Wars, it's probably lost at this point. So there was hope there with the Mandalorian, but that got fittered away. So we're back to we're pretty much back to the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, because maybe lousy movies, but it is crucial Star Wars, and George did it, so we're stuck with that. And Clone Wars, because that was under George's direction. And I guess some the EU for the most part. Although I take the EU with a large grain of salt anyway, because that was always kind of provisionally canon. They counted until George said they didn't. Yeah.
I love EU, but that's me.
Mm-hmm. it's interesting that like yes, that's Ortegas, Erica. That's like the one original character they got on that show, and seems to be the most interesting because they're not rehashing old territory. Or this, Laan Noonien singing like what kind of brain thinks that, oh yeah, I would descend to you got Space Seed coming up in a few years, asshole. What are you gonna do when that happens?
You said I was in a ranting mood tonight.
Yeah, well, I need something to bounce off of. So. But it's like, you just with her being there, you totally disrupt the timeline. So they're just finally officially admitted it. I mean, actually, they screwed it up with the first 5 minutes of Discovery. No, that's no bullshit. It kind of got with something that both me and Stuart Foley came up independently. Really, Prime is not canon. Prime is JJ's and their version of what Star Trek was. It ain't what Star Trek was.
And as somebody who hangs out with both you and Foley, I don't think you guys actually agree on that many things. Some of these rants.
Foley has to play nice because he wants the people to come in. And but as far as Discovery and he doesn't like it.
Yeah, but let's just say I had enough conversations with him where nobody was around and he didn't have to play nice. He's kind of in the middle between our sides.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think I'm probably closer to Samuel and me are probably closer on that one. This was stupid.
I just get him to agree with me that Alex Kurtzman is the person you give a job to because you don't want him on the street corner looking strangers.
Yeah. No, Kurtzman. Kurtzman, the same sort of thing. Like, he had friends who like Star Trek, and it'd be on when he'd come over, but he wouldn't actually seek it out to watch himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me wonder about him. Yeah, they totally screwed up with when the eugenics wars happens and everything else. But just the fact, her being there screws up the whole thing. And I've also heard from BBC that that's not how the naming system works for females. She wouldn't have that name. But you're not, the way they got it now, it's like, they figure out that was cotton. Hey, I had a girl, Kirk, hey, that was my girlfriend then. What the Spock? Didn't you serve with her on this ship? What the hell?
Who wasn't Kirk's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Spock.
Well, it was also because they totally changed the way they totally changed it.
You don't have to whisper your comments, honey. We don't mind you being commenting and saying Stewie. I said, who wasn't Kirk's girlfriend? And he goes, Spock.
Sure, yeah. There are some that have written stories that, Spock was, the old KS scenes. Yeah.
These are the people who want every character that exists to be either gay or trans.
Yeah, they want to be fucking all over on the ship and every time to do anything else. It's like, the entire concept of just guys being friends never enters their mind. Okay, I mean, gays find this stuff.
Those are the same creepy people that tried to.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Those were the same creepy people who tried to literally ship the girls in Frozen together, even though they're sisters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But where was I going?
But you love the Walker because they love each other like sisters. It's not complicated.
By moving the eugenics wars forward about 100 years, that totally throws off the thing of when the Botany Bay goes out. It's now, they'd be out there by the time Generations happens, in which Kirk is killed. And then we're into the, And what is not addressed is that big-ass probe loses contact with the whales, comes charging on back, and nobody's in a position to stop it or go back in time and get more whales. So Earth dies. Congratulations, Akiva Goldsman. You just killed Star Trek.
He just needs a woman banging already.
They don't know what the hell they're doing, It's like, how many generations down the line is Lahan from Khan anyway in the first place? So stuff would eventually be kind of bred out of the system. Okay. So she's, and of course, oh, let's get Nurse Chapel in there. Her and Spock can make lovey-dovey each other. You've forgotten about Dr. Roger Corby, which was supposedly the reason why Chapel joined Starfleet in the first fucking place. To go out and find him. There's a problem in, yep, Steph's now in. There's a problem in just strip mining Memory Alpha for names and stuff and not watching the damn show.
Okay, that was loud.
Not knowing what the hell you're doing.
Robert, you're loud.
I'm supposed to be.
Not so loud that it hurts my ears.
Sorry.
All I can say is I'm glad I'm not on headphones tonight with the way you're going.
Yeah.
Does it feel good getting it out of your system?
At least I'm not going on about Indy, okay? Come on. It's breaking the routine here. That's kind of on hold until she finally actually watched that video. And then, holy shit, then gets hold of her idiot mods. What the hell were you doing? Or rather, not doing.
Oh, I'm sure I know what they were doing. They were sitting there with their thumbs up their asses going, hey, I like how this feels.
Please don't swap. No, please don't swap. No, that's not nice. Fuck nice. Get him out of there. God.
You don't have to be nice when people are being douchebags.
No.
Douche canoes, son. Douche canoes. No, douche canoes sucking douche nozzles.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it right.
I mean, part of having that wrench is occasionally being a twat waffle and butting your ass out. Shall I watch your house? No, that's your instant, no harm, what?
Is it really bad that I actually did call a woman a blue twat waffle? Considering what both of those phrases mean.
Oh, I'm sure they thought about bringing in McCoy, but it's like, no, I think. And Benga didn't show up until A Private Little War. And the implication there was he had just gotten on board. He wasn't on there very long. He sure as fuck didn't have a full beard. But he was there. All right.
Lizard! Ah!
Oh.
See,
No, man,
that's what I am. I am a nerd girl who married a nerd.
Mm-hmm. There
we go.
You always want to marry within the faith, yeah.
A happy, nerdy marriage.
Yep. Tommy and Steph hooked up. Good. They bring back Kirk group for a while there. But it's like, before, the thing was so good. There was a push to get Jeffrey Combs cast as Dr. Boyce.
How many characters does he want to play before the era is done?
I lost count how many he played on live action. He's done a psycho computer voice on Lower Decks and having all kinds of fun with that.
I somehow could see him in that role. I still have no interest in that show, but that makes at least sense with him.
It is that is a show that is very canon compliant.
It's not that. We've had that conversation. I hate that art style and I hate that comedy style. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Okay, I'm just saying what it is. It is very, they love playing with all the stories in the Star Trek box.
And I have heard a lot of people talk about how they appreciate that it was canon. Mm-hmm. I'm just agreeing.
Yeah.
But it's freaking Cal Arts. It looks like somebody vomited the characters on the screen. I hate Cal Arts with a passion that makes me hate anything they're on.
Listen, I'm waiting if they would do a crossover with the original animated series. And for while they're in that period, have that style of art, that old Filmation style of art, and that'd be hilarious. With
apparently, the comments about Cal Arts being vomited on the screen made Steffi laugh.
Yeah. Thing is, that's how I drew when I was like 10. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Cal Arts, they call it futuristic stuff. What
No,
it is
yeah,
a lazy art
simple.
style
Yeah.
with no shadows, no depth, and no personality that has this weird edging that doesn't quite look right on every character. And there's so
It's
many shows now that use it, and every single one of them, I can glance at it in a moment and go, that's Cal Art. It looks like it was vomited. Look how plain it is. It's got no shadows. Look, it's like somebody vomited and then rolled it
Yeah.
flat with a steamroller.
If you got a skilled animation team, you can get the emotion. And then the lower decks, they can get some emotion. They know how to toy it around. You know, they're good stuff out there. So they can get a lot of emotion out of those characters. Because like when the end of I think season 2, when they arrest Captain Freeman for supposedly blowing up Peklid Planet, like that's a gut punch episode. It's like, oh my god, we're supposed to be celebrating. They're keeping her in handcuffs. It's, you know, and that sets things up.
This is why I am such a stickler for a lot of shading and a lot of depth on the stuff I draw and do. I cannot stand, and partly probably the light sensitivity to the eye that are 30 years of these eye problems that are supposedly one of the things that you're supposed to look for to find out if somebody has albino issues. And that none of these doctors ever thought, gee, she has all those problems. Maybe we should look into it. She's awful pale as a native girl.
That's why they call it practicing medicine. They haven't quite got it right yet. They got to practice some more.
Obviously. My eyes are hypersensitive. They don't absorb light. Everything's really bright to them. And
there's been talk of bringing Scotty on board. How the hell are they going to do that and have it make sense? I don't know, because and even trying to make it match up with Relics, because he started the number of ships he served on, and even when the original series, on Operation Annihilate, like he made the run, to Deneva working on a freighter. It's like he was not he didn't spend all his time in the Enterprise. He served on other ships before getting there. The Enterprise is the first time he's as a chief engineer. But I
can't remember who it was recently. I actually got into a discussion on one of the channels with somebody who he brought on this guest who absolutely was obsessive to the point where nothing could possibly be bad in any of the old Trek shows. And he kept saying that TOS was perfect, and I went, really, Spock's brain? And he tried to defend Spock's brain.
Yeah.
And after they're like, okay, whatever you're smoking, lay off about 9/10 of what you're using, because you're delusional as hell.
Compared to what they're putting out, Spock's brain is Shakespeare. But
there are worse.
Spock's brain's the obvious target, but the real bad ones is like, and the children shall lead. The alternative factor. There's just some stinkers. Okay.
There are some that are still not great episodes, but there's still moments that are good.
Yeah.
You know?
And the children shall lead is very little.
Target, because there's no moments that are good. Every single moment is more painful than the last. So you can sit there and go, what are you on?
It's still debated whether did Gene Coon write that episode as a joke. Was he trying to sabotage the show, or what? Was he just knocking it out to because he was still obligated to write like 5 scripts when he left. But thing is, when he was working for Universal, he had to do it under a pseudonym. That's why it says Lee Cronin. But let's see, he turned in. Let's see, it was Spectre the Gun, Spock's Brain, and a few others. But it's my old lab partner's shown up.
I've talked to people who sit there and try to say, and no matter what you say, they try to argue that Gene was absolutely always the visionary. He was the wonderful guy. He was all this. Like, they do realize that Kirk was based on a lot of Gene.
Yeah.
B, that so was Zefram Cochrane.
Yeah. Well, then the movie in First Contact.
Yeah.
When they're talking about what was my vision? $. That's my vision.
$signs here and women here. That was based on Gene.
That probably was based on Gene right there. So he would have big teeth.
That's where he started at. He even admitted that at one point.
He wanted to make money, but he had things he wanted to say as a writer. Yeah. and he
Yeah,
got
I had a few ideals I liked a little bit, but he said, but he started, his vision was lots of money and the women it could buy. That's what his vision was when he started.
Mm-hmm. He certainly got the women. Yeah.
God,
the money took a few lawsuits, but and kind of makes you wonder. That's just how good a lawyer was Leonard Maizlish. If they're suing Paramount for years for back royalties, never got him. It wasn't until he teamed up with Bill Shatner and his lawyer that finally things busted loose.
The thing that gets me is the people who go, okay, yeah, he was a shameless cheat and a womanizer.
Mm-hmm.
There were fights on set from the women because he was having multiple affairs with the different women in the cast at the same time while he was married to another woman.
Mm-hmm.
But to Maisel's credit, she may have gotten him through shady means, but she didn't act better than that once they were married. She didn't suddenly go, now you're never allowed to do that stuff again. She went, go have fun. Come home when you're done.
Yeah, because she had her fun on the side too, so fair is fair. Can't say anything about it, can you, asshole?
I mean, to be fair, she knew what she was getting with him to begin with. And based on what their son said, and I tend to believe right on this, his dad apparently cheated on the first night of their honeymoon. So I think Gene beat her to it for the first one to do it. But
I'm not shocked. I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked.
But again, they had an open marriage. They both knew they were doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This wasn't they were breaking vows to each other. They knew it from the beginning.
They were horrible to each other at times. God.
But I think in their own demented way, they did love each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what I get into. I don't necessarily agree with all this polyamorous stuff and these people who do this stuff, but you know what? As long as it's consenting adults and they're not being horrible, abusive shits to each other, I don't care. That's between you and God at that point.
Yeah.
Just again, don't try to drag me into your crap, you know?
I mean, they're talking about from Bob Justin. It was rather uncomfortable watching the way he would treat her sometimes. But again, she would give as good as she got, so.
And that's also a product of the time. Guys just genuinely more often thought they had the right to be bossy to the woman then.
It was the 60s and 70s, so,
Hell, you see it even watching shows
right under the 80s.
Let's go right back to me talking about, from anything from All in the Family through all those shows in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
They showed it there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Even there, where they were very pro-women's lib in all those shows. They still showed the guys were very... That's how the culture was. And even the women had a role with it half the time because they knew that's how the guys were.
Yeah.
And Edith, as sweet as she was not a doormat.
No, eventually she would tell
her to off on him several times. I still, out of all the times she went off on him, my favorite is still her bent down with menopause.
Typhoon!
Because he deserves it for all the times he did it to her.
Yeah. Norman Lear, his own father would do that to his mom. We would just, stifle yourself.
And that is, Norman Lear, yes, was a liberal. He tried to humanize the other side. He tried to show that everyone's trying their best.
He wrote them. He wrote the characters honestly. That's the thing. He gave them, and didn't caricaturize the idea. This is what they think. This is what I think. You make up your own mind.
To the beginning of All in the Family.
You know where I stand, but
You get to the beginning of All in the Family, and Archie seems like a character totally. And
she's on the phone on the web, so
make you cringe like hell. And then as the episodes progress, you find out that he'd been abused by people who were black as kids, saying things he didn't even know were bad because his dad set him around him. And he'd been abused horribly by his father. If you actually pay attention to a few of the episodes.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah.
One of them where he sits there and tells Mike that his dad beat him so hard he broke his own hand on him.
And locked him in the closet.
Locked him in closets and shit. And you're like, Holy shit. And then you think about how good, it actually also explains why he coddled Gloria to the point where she honestly was a bit abusive to him because she was used to getting her way.
Yeah. But the other thing,
he didn't want to be that kind of father.
When Archie finally kind of passes out on the floor, and Reich just sort of stunned because he thought that thought of Archie as almost like borderline Klansman almost. It's like holy shit.
But throughout the show, you see the human side of Archie come out. You see the human side of Archie come out, and he learns throughout the show. And by the end of it, he's going through stuff to help his mixed niece get into the temple for Jewish stuff, and she's got Hispanic parts of her family and all this, and he's taking care of her. That's the closest person in his life.
Yeah.
And it's like they showed him grow so much.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the same thing with Jefferson. That George was a flaming bigot.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
He was like proud of it.
But you saw him grow, and he grew to love Jenny, and he started defending some of the people. And the insult war between him and Jenny's brother, where it started with Jenny's brother taking it to old rap battle style dig at him, and then they go back and forth for a while.
You want to do the dozens? We're doing the dozens. Okay.
And at the end of this, right before this, they broke their arm back and forth. George just one of them where he calls him the N-word.
Yeah.
And then he starts patting himself on the back for it. And the guy does another one at him, and he goes, "You know what? You might be half white, but that still means you're half all right." And they start hugging each other. Like they bonded over insulting each other racially for several minutes.
Oh yeah. That's back in the day. Yes, the N-word. I hate having to go that 5-year-old route, but it's like it was always an offensive word.
I don't say it though. I never have.
To avoid demonetization, I'll avoid saying it, but it's always been an offensive word. It's never nice. Okay, even back in the day, when Mark Twain used it over and over again, he was making a point by doing that. Okay.
Oh, I get that completely.
Yeah,
and I don't believe in telling other people not to say words, and I have a problem with this whole thing, monetize people, censor them, or throw them out of society for saying it.
Yeah.
I don't say them. I don't use slurs. I just don't. Any of them.
Yeah. Same thing with Blazing Saddles. And Blazing Saddles. When it's every 5 minutes, you see it at least once. And that's part of the gag.
I don't use slurs, but I've watched All in the Family and Jeffersons. And both shows use a lot of slurs quite often.
Yeah.
So
the one scene in Blazing Saddles where Sheriff Bart's first day on the job and up there and throwing away and up this isn't this a lovely day? Up yours. And back in the office, totally just stunned. And Gene Wilder, Waco kids, what did you expect? Come on over for dinner, Sonny. Date my daughter. These are simple people. Workers.
And none of that was scripted. That was not supposed to be the response he gave.
It was scripted up to the point of where these are simple, they're workers of the land. The part of the one was that they end with morons. That was an ad lib.
It was supposed to be these were simple people line. And then he adds in this whole thing where he's adding extra lines and stuff, and then he goes, morons.
That's really and that's what when Cleveland Little busts up, that's honestly he's honestly busting up and thinks the scene's blown at that point.
But I still think the one that got to me was watching the behind the scenes stuff on the producers and finding out that scared, shocked, timid, anxiety riddled Leon Blue really was Gene Wilder then. And that whole scene was a fake. That he really didn't have that brain over the blanket.
I'm wet. That was terrible.
That whole scene wasn't fake. He had a complete panic attack on set. Because he had that little stupid blanket scrap from the dog that was sick at home.
Yeah, and you're up against Zero Mostel. The man was a giant in the theater. That's going to intimidate the hell out of anybody. So you're already on edge. But I love that story.
That whole scene was not scripted. It was not in there. But the fact that he looked at it after, looked at the several minute footage of him having a complete and utter mental breakdown, went, that's funny, leave it in.
Yeah. So Marcel's grabbed the water pitcher, smashed him in the face. It's like, just,
I'm wet!
But I really love when, I don't know, I forget what it was exactly, but they wanted Zero to do something on set, but they're too afraid to go ask him himself. So they asked Mel, could you please go ask him? And he went to talk to him in his trailer. Okay, yeah, no problem, Mel. But no, but he also understood. Now, understand what I'm about to do. I have to maintain an image here. So this is not you. I'm fine. We're good. I'm doing what you ask. Now, what? What do you think it is? You're gonna tell me what I'm gonna do? Then get out of here now. Go, leave my room. And Mel kind of backs up. I think he's gonna go along. There's a reason why Zero Mostel was made an honorary monster on the Muppet Show. Okay.
And by the way,
yeah.
To the credit of the remake, I don't think you could have gotten a better person to fill in for Zero than Nathan Lane.
No, Nathan Lane is the only one who could stand in those shoes, I think. Yeah.
He fit the role well enough. He felt right.
Yeah.
Roderick didn't feel right for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of mediocre. Yeah.
He was mediocre. Granted, there could have been worse, but and I can't stand Uma Thurman, but she was actually kind of funny in that at least.
Yeah.
She couldn't maintain her. No, she could not maintain that accent for shit. She was the worst one in the show for trying to do her.
Yeah, I still side with the 67 version. So. But still, I'm still
moving on to the original, but there are a few scenes added to the musical that were part of what he originally scripted. He never got to put in the original that are good scenes.
Okay. I'm so irritated they cut the King of Old Broadway number from the movie. It's in the deleted scenes, but it's not in the not in the main thing. That's the best number in the whole damn movie. Okay. And I'm constantly quoting that bit, Well, you gotta stand up on your own 2 feet and shout at the world. Who are you gonna fuck to get a break in this town?
Where are we at right now, hon? Not Chamberlain, between.
I don't think the Strange New Rattles even know what the warp scale is.
Middle of nowhere. You're not being very helpful. This might blink out on me a second. I have to check the map. If it does, I'll be right back.
No problem. Now the ship on Strange New Worlds moves at the speed of plot. Okay. Whatever warp factor they give is just totally arbitrary.
Less than an hour. November, stopping. Okay.
Steph mentioned Gene Coon's secretary. Lovely black lady, name of Andrea. I forget what her last name is, and what it was back then. But she, got the job working at Diesel at that time, and then Paramount. And she had a little reputation working for a man with the last name of Coon, as a black lady. But a lot of times she'd be, at the day, and answer the phone. Good afternoon, Janelle's Coon.
Oh boy!
Back, you could joke about that sort of thing. Yeah, you could joke about that sort of thing back then.
I need to play Kalijah for you. You know how much stuff I do from Williams and Reed.
Okay, yeah.
There's a version they did of Kalijah where they're breaking out of the song constantly for Reed to be sitting there playing a poker game with a bunch of animals. And the animals are all props that he can use so he can call each one of them by different racial slurs and get away with it because it's an animal term. And it's ridiculous. It is hilarious.
Oh.
I don't know what that says about me that I have something.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, that says she loves you.
Hey.
Mhm.
man, Steffi.
There he is.
Driving.
Yeah, they're driving through the North Dakota darkness.
Stop that.
South, what? One of the Dakotas. I don't know.
That is North Rapid City. So,
Yeah,
there's so many cities along I-90 that you're going to see just tons of lights everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Just make sure you can still see the road.
We can.
Okay.
What? This is a very small light, and it shines it very much at the passenger seat.
That's good, yeah.
Is that a line? Or is that? Shut up and drive, you smart I don't want to hit you while you're driving. So would you pull over before I have to hit you? Here.
Yeah, one of the big gripes. One of the big gripes that was Strange New World.
I'm not going to hurt my husband much.
Yeah, they're in a moving vehicle. That would be very detrimental.
Shit, it's going to start rumors. Watch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going to cause trouble.
But one of the problems they have with the show is just you'd be hard pressed to find a script that isn't ripped off from something else. Like Number One's backstory. That was something that Dorothy Fontana and Major Barrett had worked up themselves. Explain the whole thing of why she's only called Number One. Eventually, that's her name, because that's the culture she came from. It's an all-female, a matriarchal planet. You had to be the best to get to where she was, and she gave Number One. They kind of missed the part where Gene was going, where it's like a total British term for your executive officer. You're Number One. And Dorothy worked that into her one Star Trek novel, Vulcan's Glory.
Maybe that would work to the tune of the music. Off we go into the inky light. Well, not bad for the sound line for.
Yeah, the Starfleet anthem.
This is not a Wild Blue Yonder right now.
No,
Even if this is part of the Old West that was about.
Yeah.
Where is the moon?
But they ripped off stuff all the time. It's, they made I think they made a point now of making sure they rip off authors who are dead.
You know what's bad about what he just said? He said, "Where's the moon?" And the first thing I heard was one of the outtakes from one of the grumpy old men movies where he goes, "The moon is up your ass."
Oh.
That was old Ben. That was when he was trying to woo Sophie Loren.
Well, like in Discovery, when they invoked the Guardian of Forever, they were lucky they waited until Arlen Ellison was dead. Because if they did that when he was alive, he would have sticked a team of lawyers on their ass. If you even touch that story, I will eviscerate you right here now with a spoon.
Come on, I want to lay ya. No, the worst thing is he did that because he knows that was a series of the outtakes of the second one where he was supposed to name a Hawaiian island and make a curve joke for the him coming on tour in the movie. And then outtakes where he said like 10 different ones, one after another, just these pervy jokes he kept making. You like a lick of pee-pee? I'm a kind of kinky, something like that.
Oh, Lord.
And he said that knowing those would pop in my head when he said it.
Yeah. No, but the one episode where
isn't that right, darling?
This one kid is plugged into a computer thing, and they sucks in all the bad stuff in the world. That was Alex Kurtzman practically admitted on camera that it was ripped off of an Ursula K. Le Guin story. Again, wait until the author's dead, then you can do what you want. There's going to be a class action lawsuit grievance with the Writers Guild at some point against Strange New World and Discovery. That's how many they're ripping off writers left and right with this shit. Yeah, there's not just any, but there will be a class action grievance. It'll be the first in Guild history.
I don't know. Maybe we're losing our minds, right? Do we have minds to lose? Staring at the dirty windshield for a moment. I had to take a drink. Do we have minds to lose? I have a mind to lose. you. I think you think with something else.
Interesting reflection off the sunroof.
Oh, that's hard to steer the wheel. It's not big enough to steer the steering wheel, so.
I'm gonna step away for a bit to get a soda. Hold on here. I'll be back in a moment.
I said I was losing my mind. He said, "Do we have any minds to lose?" I said, "Well, I do. I think you think with something else." Then he goes, "Well, it's not big enough to steer the steering wheel with."
I'm going slightly mad.
Welcome to my life here. This is the guy. I'm dead asleep. It's the middle of the night. I'm laying there. All of a sudden, I feel, honey, if two stoners are having a 420-69, does that mean they're having the munchies? The smells laugh and goes back to sleep. Well, I'm trying to figure out what the hell I just said.
You got him,
Okay. I'm going for that soda now. Hold on.
What's wrong with him? And he went back happily to sleep while I sat there going, what the hell just happened to me?
Oh, God. Oy, 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 oy.
Well, I got both of you apparently, didn't it?
All right.
I don't know where this thought came from.
The boobs are smothering me.
Oh my God. My husband, in his sleep, there's something not right in this head. This head's got some twisted thoughts in it. I don't know. But
Oh, yeah, I'll get some more tomorrow. Oh, Lord.
I don't know what makes your brain work the way it does, or not work, as the case may be.
All right.
But yeah, there's these random nights where weird stuff happens. So if
Okay.
you can hear what I'm saying now, there's another one that's great to tell on Steve.
There we go.
Since he mentioned it. I had one night I could not sleep, and I'm laying there, and I'm writing stuff down, and I'm kind of staring off into space. My husband is laying on his side, snoring. All of a sudden, he twitches a couple times, sits bolt upright, and goes, "The boobs are smothering me!" Smiles, drops backwards, and starts snoring again.
Okay.
I still want to know what he was dreaming that night.
I think this needs to be addressed here. All right. A question about the ship.
The man said,
Well, about any ideas about refitting this one into the original series ship? Problem. These are supposedly the same scale. Do you see the problem here? 947 feet. A hell of a lot bigger than 947 feet. Why the hell would you, if one, it's beyond idiotic to think you're going to refit this into this. It's even stupider to think you're going to refit this back into this. And engines are dropping off left and right here.
Are you done ranting yet?
no.
So again, the second they did that, it's not the same universe. Stop lying to us.
So apparently his middle of the night thought got both you and Stephanie there, didn't it?
Get back here. Get back here, you son of a bitch. All right.
My husband was all proud when he could hear the two of you laughing.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I keep telling people he may be a quiet engineer, but he's as twisted as I am.
Oh, yeah. The quiet ones you got to watch out for. Okay.
See?
get that
They
back.
all know your trouble,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm cute.
What's the first thing they always say, like presidential assassins and stuff? Like, he was so quiet, you know. Kind of kept himself there, you know.
Nah, he's not gonna do anything like that. Never mind, I won't say that on air. He's got
I'll tell you
different
what,
interests.
I was, rather pleased to be proven wrong with Picard season 3, because the end of the thing, Picard's log entry, that it's deemed unsalvageable. So okay, fine, but why don't well, unsalvageable by standard Starfleet regs, as in it would take too long, too much effort and resources to put this back into service in a timely fashion. However, given if you get the former chief engineer on it and you give him essentially unlimited resources and all the time in the world, yeah, eventually, you can even put the Mary Rose back into service. For context, the Mary Rose was Henry VIII's warship, and there's only half of it left. And that's basically what we got here. Is
I think after we go to Chamberlain tonight, I'm going to probably sign out after Dignity and go to sleep.
mm-hmm.
While he drives across this so interestingly boring highway. There's so much to do here.
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Oh, yeah. I didn't do it. Whatever it is, I'm innocent. Until proven guilty.
She's recommending to come down here.
Or is it guilty until proven innocent? Well, in which case, all of us are screwed. Or is it pervy until proven pure? Well, you're screwed on that scale, aren't you?
Oy. Okay, get out of that. All right. I'm not sure I called Twitter a rabbit hole or a sinkhole. You're the one. Oh, Lord. No, but, if it's just a matter of just rebuilding the structure and, for the saucer and getting that, getting the hammered back into shape and then waiting for a donor secondary hull, which is what they got, from the Syracuse. At that point, it's just change the numbers, bingo. Because that's one thing about Starfleet design is it's pretty modular. That was by design. And that's kind of, it comes from, Matt Jeffries, Army Air Force time, where it's like, the engines are mounted on, pop it up, make it easy to get to. And also frustrations of when you try to get something in the cockpit, it's like, usually you're getting somebody's way to do this. There'll be some way to get, do it from behind or whatever,
none of the stuff you just said makes me want to behave. As you're talking about trying to get something in the cockpit and not enough space and somebody in front of you and then something behind and all that. I'm sitting here going, boy, there's so many jokes here.
Oh, yeah.
Would you behave? Guys! Keep your hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
Hold it, not the wheel.
Yeah. We don't need to do a live stream of a car crash, okay? So yes.
Thank you. Just off-roading. I have no idea when I'm going to get a chance to meet you, Steffi. I need to.
Yeah. hopefully before too long, because we're supposed to go on Monday to sign the new lease finally. Only about 2 months late. Well, apparently it's all for
You guys are down near Denver, right?
suburbs, the west side. Yeah. I don't want to get
Someday
specific.
I intend to get over there to that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we're in the
So-
nice area. You know.
Not just drive the highway up into the mountains.
No. I am never driving that tunnel again.
What, the Eisenhower Tunnel?
Yes.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's always longer than you think, but
It's really long.
yeah.
There's not a lot of air in there, and the air in there smells like exhaust, which can't be healthy from going a long way like that.
Just be thankful it's ventilated.
It's a long, narrow tube full of people where if there's an avalanche, you're not going anywhere.
They just recently
No,
finished
it's
the
not
other
okay.
side.
I'm never going up there again. I'm never going up there again. No.
No. I think there are still passes to go through there, but you know. Well,
Let's
it's
just say-
through it's through the Rocky Mountains, okay?
I get that. But you don't need a long tunnel that will trap everybody if there's an avalanche. That's not an intelligent idea.
Well, I think that area is like there's not really a chance of an avalanche,
I know.
and they've got crews there to clear if they have to. So.
It doesn't take long for somebody to have issues. Plus,
Yeah,
again,
I
it's
know.
long enough and it's a small enough tunnel that you're not getting good quality air, even at ground level, if you have that much traffic in that tight of a space without a lot of air ventilation. Now you put it up at that altitude, and most of what you're breathing in is toxic fumes. I felt like I was going to pass out by the time I got out of that tunnel. Let's just say I didn't like it.
I'll probably get in trouble with Steph if I mentioned that last time we went through the tunnel on the way back from Vegas.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
The only tunnel I hated anywhere near as much as the Eisenhower was the one in the Dallas interchange where you're going through a tunnel even though you're in the freaking highway and there's cars on each side of you and above you. The hell with this shit? Sorry, I have anxiety. Hello, Kitty.
Oh. Now I got to figure out how to start drawing a crowd that'll start throwing, super chats at me. I can't remember the last time I had a super chat thrown at me. I'm not even sure it still works.
I don't know.
I got destitute fans. Part of the problem.
It's been a little while on mine. I don't stream that often anymore. I'm just so busy lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
we're all kind of broke this year, so we're mutually suffering.
Yeah.
Please, everybody, go to my channel and
Thank you
watch
for
all
that.
these shorts over and over again because YouTube is like sucking out of the algorithm for weeks on end now.
What we do is put them all on a playlist. And that's that, folks. Just start the playlist. Put the playlist on a loop.
I can't figure out how to put shorts on a playlist. There was an easy button for it when I
That's true.
first started posting them, and then it disappeared when they added the monetization on shorts.
Ah, okay.
I'm really annoyed with it right now, trying to figure that out. But I mean, my shorts. You can go in there and just click play, and it'll just start auto-loading them too.
Yeah.
Please do. Trust me, it'll help. Right now, they're not putting me in the algorithm. I
Yeah.
don't know why. They can suck a fat one, especially them trying to look back on that one. But I see the view, because that's where I get my money from usually. If all of you,
Okay. Well, that established, yes, it still works. We'll just ignore the fact that I got a super chat from my own wife. So.
well, at least she's making sure your account's still fine.
Yeah, it still works. Maybe it'll encourage somebody else to get some money. Hint, hint. No.
But when you said that, your co-star was broke. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, well, it's something.
I just need, well, to deal with the first part of what I need to do, I need about 600 more to get the camera I need.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. If I buy this camera new, it's over $2,500. It comes with a 2-year warranty.
Mm.
If I buy this camera refurbished, it's $1,000, and it costs $100 to add a 2-year warranty. The 2-year warranty you add also includes brakes, accidental damage, and things that are your own fault. So I should get better coverage on a refurbished one for the same time period, for about $1,400 less.
Oops. Let's see. Where is that damn tunnel?
The money. It's really hard to get a really good long film and to find a good Nikon that I can actually use that doesn't have a detachable lens. If it has a detachable lens, I can't hold the camera right because it causes the weight shift in it, and it triggers my nerve damage. Because the detachable lenses are heavier, so they make the camera front heavy.
Trying to figure out whereabouts is the Eisenhower Tunnel. Is that showing up on the map? That's Grand Junction. What the fuck? All right, it's got to be around Dale.
Hey, cam's on.
Why do they not have the tunnel listed on here?
Great, it's starting to take over here too. There's the
Grand
other side.
Grand Army of the Republic Highway, isn't there?
You know another reason why I hate these stupid wind turbines we're using now? Because the lights synchronize because they read each other's electromagnetic.
Huh.
So when you get a whole bunch of them in an area, you get this stretch for miles and miles that are pulsating in unison, red light. It's the creepiest freaking thing ever. If you actually read the Wrinkle in Time book, they talk about everything being synchronized and in perfect unison in CamShot as this big evil description. That's what it feels like.
Is this it?
And not, of course, the movie.
Okay, here we are.
No.
Okay, I thought it was closer to Vale.
Oh,
It's in Loveland. Okay.
Just watch it into the... Just watch it into it.
Because they want to do a little windy road. There's Highway 6. No tunnel, but you're doing a lot of loop-de-loops and curves around there.
I would do that before I do that tunnel again. That made me... I literally felt sick from the exposure from the other cars by the time you got through it.
Well, you will see a lot of country there.
I got through it.
I'm thinking, isn't that Vale
okay.
Pass?
You had a hotel right afterwards.
I do want to go to Denver Zoo. I was going to before,
What?
but I was sick when I got there.
What? Oh, God. She wants to drag you to Estes Park. that-
look up the information on the Denver Zoo. I need to look into what they have there.
Oh, they've changed quite a bit, even since I've been there, probably. And I've only been a few
Well,
years.
I know. Last time I was at the zoo in Denver, I was 3 or 4 something out there,
Mm.
and it was literally I got to go there because we had to go to Denver to specialists to deal with the brain issues me and Dad were having.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And then last time you drove through it, that
I was
just
so
before COVID.
done with dealing with people. No,
Sorry, before COVID shut down.
that was technically before the shutdown. The shutdown kicked in about a week later. Not quite.
You were kicked out of the Kansas City area.
Yeah, but that was about a week later when the shutdowns really kicked. They basically were starting about the time I went through Denver, but didn't hit most of the country and even most of the major cities until about a week after.
Mm.
The reason I didn't stop at the Denver Zoo was because I was at that point where I was going to do something that would get me arrested if I got near any more people.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you, we're to get to the Denver Zoo, though. It'd be a little bit of, channeling my mom, the school teacher, and doing a field trip.
That's inside air only circulates so much. Trust me, I always have it on inside air because I have problems with breathing.
Yeah.
But if you're in an enclosed area and you're circulating air where there's tons of exhaust around you, you're not getting much oxygen to circulate in things.
Yeah, they've got huge ventilator vents in there, but it only does so much. Because again, it's 2 miles through the Rocky Mountains. So.
Yeah. Like I said,
You're passing through the Continental Divide. Yeah.
I understand functionally why they wanted it, but no. What was I like when I called you from the other side, hon?
Oh, you asked me to get you a hotel pretty much right away.
Yeah. I'm done. That's it. I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, there'd be a lot of this used to be the big cat house over here with them. Back when I was, my sister was maybe 8 or something, and there was a lion. Crouched up there and got there and little story.
But yeah.
There's my stuff.
Need more gas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to a third.
Yeah, I don't want to get much lower. Then we gotta get over it. Yay!
But Chamberlain's not that far past him.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not too much further, all things considered. On the road again.
Cost me $40 to film this tank today.
Yeah, you used to like driving this route before we've had to drive it so many times.
My knees can drive this road.
You know what's interesting is when you enter the Black Hills on the southeast corner by the highway, the winding, twisting road, highway that goes into the towns there, by the time I drove it myself, I knew it so well from how many times I've been through it with my family, that I can swear to you, if I didn't have to worry about other drivers and animals, I could have done it blindfolded. I could feel the exact speed of the car in every turn perfectly. The first time I ever drove it. I have never had issues with that, and it is a twisting road of constant S-curves along a river. And even a lot of the locals sometimes have trouble staying in their lane or going speed limit. And I went through there about 5 over and don't have any issues constantly. They're all looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm driving this mountain twisted tunnel like this, and I'm doing this in a little car that has Iowa plates.
Yeah.
And they look at me like I'm crazy. And they're going, "What? I was born around here."
I've learned to be careful with the claims. I'm going to do this blindfolded because for a bunch of years, I got, this old Enterprise model, I know we could do I'm trying to do a live stream trying to build it blindfolded. It did not go well. There are certain things you have to see what you're doing.
We will be fine here overall.
Yeah.
They just got to get to a gas station. You know what? We know where all the best gas stations for best prices and easiest access getting in and out are along this route because we've done it so many times.
Yeah.
I could drive it half of the sleep. Probably have.
Yeah, we got a pretty good 76 truck stop near us. Yeah. Got a nice cafe in there.
Well, this truck stop, the next truck stops 100 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so many towns and cities here, right?
Mm-hmm. Only about a 6-pack apart. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 6-pack of caffeine.
That was the old joke about Wyoming. Towns about a 6-pack apart. Yeah. But it was before they dropped the speed limit to 55. That's like more like a case.
well, they got fed up with these slow speed limits. South Dakota, Wyoming, and Montana a few years ago raised their highway speed limit to 80.
Yeah. So God bless Sammy Hagar. Okay. Finally gave voice to a growing frustration.
Actually, I can tell you why they raised the speed limit on the interstate to 80, and it was spiteful. That was when Obama was trying to pass a national 55 speed limit.
Trying to tamp it back down. Yeah.
But he was trying to say that every highway should be required to go no faster than 55.
Yeah, says the guy who grew up in Chicago. Yeah. You couldn't get the 55 if your life depended on it.
They're like, really? Hey, Nick Kitty! Hi. Like,
yeah,
really?
That was not a good gag for Scott. You know,
let me explain this to people. 55 to get from the east edge of South Dakota through to the other side of Montana through these 3 states. No.
That's 370 miles just to get from Sioux Falls to Rapid City.
Yeah, that thing is like, you know, it just smack people beside the head. You have how spread out we are out here? Why did you go fast with that? Because it's like Denver to Colorado Springs. It's 100 miles away to Colorado Springs. Fuck you.
These are the people who sit there and go, well, they'll save gas money. It's like, yes, but then you're going to have to add so many stops and so many more days to every trip because of how far you're going. If you drop to 55, this 1-day drive turns into 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Because by the time you have to start making stops, now you have to get in and out of hotels, you have to find food, it costs so much more money and actually does more harm to the environment.
Like I said, God bless Sammy Hagar. You know, the way used to take 2 hours, now it takes all day. You know?
Okay, well, I'm going to check on the kitties, so I might as well do that with this phone.
All right.
Come on.
There we go. The sound's gone weird, but other than that. But yeah, rather famous incident with Sarah Palin got caught speeding. Hey there. Oh, poor baby. Yeah. Wish we could do something for you.
Baby.
Yeah.
And there's Mousy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah.
And Ornery's still ornery.
Yeah. So well named. Yeah. But yeah, Sarah Palin got caught speeding because, that song came on the radio. Kind of got her a little inspired and put the foot down a little bit. Word got back to Sammy Hagar that she got caught speeding, driving to. I can't drive 55. He paid her ticket.
So you saw the kitties.
Yeah.
Athena's happy because she wants to go.
Yeah.
She's been happy since we put her in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Ornery is not so happy.
Oh, he's ornery. He's ornery.
She doesn't like travel.
Yeah. Cats generally don't really. It took Jonesy a while to get used to it. When he finally realized he had no choice, then he finally got into it.
You would think Athena would be the one that wouldn't like travel, considering she was the one that was thrown from a moving car.
Well, that's not really traveling.
Yeah, but you would think she'd be the one that wouldn't like being in cars after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
No, because as bad as...
Shall I send Netcat a link?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this back up here. Copied. Throw that up there.
No, she seems to equate cars with me coming and rescuing her from being stuck in the place after being hurt.
Ah, well, that's good.
So she hasn't been jumpy around cars even when I took her home when she was still recovering from that injury.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. And yeah, unfortunately, she isn't going to be around much longer.
Yeah.
But we decided she gets to have her last days where she wants, and she gets to be spoiled.
All right, Netcat, check your Twitter.
Net kitty.
Gotta go get some water in a minute anyway. So yeah.
I did do a good job hiding the license plate, right?
Never saw a license plate.
Good.
Barely saw the car.
I was trying to keep the camera aimed the other way till I had the hatchback open.
Yeah.
So.
No, barely even saw the car. So.
Most people know what my car looks like.
There we go. There we are.
Okay, here I am.
There we are.
Hey.
And I gotta go get some water. So
we're in Kimball, South Dakota right now.
Yeah. And so, are you still driving right now?
He's washing the windshield right now, but yeah, we're nowhere near Mom's place yet.
Okay. What? Actually, one sec. I've got an echo because I've got you in the YouTube. There we go. It's gone. Okay.
Thank you, hon, for washing the windshield. Oh my God. It was starting to look like a bug graveyard.
But part of what I was after he said he was sending it to me was like, okay, I need to set up my headset for my console so it's actually going to my ears instead of just blasting everywhere. Because you guys don't need to hear Bayonetta or whatever else I'm playing.
I dyed my hair, can you tell?
What about your hair?
I dyed my hair finally, so it's not calico anymore.
You do remember... actually, I may not have actually mentioned that to you. I'm actually somewhat colorblind on Shades of Colors. I don't see
How colorblind? The reason I dyed it is because it's getting more sun sensitive as I'm getting older. The parts that were dyed a year ago were fine. They faded kind of to my normal color and then just stayed.
If it's red, it's red.
The part that grew in? No. The part that grew in, which was to about here, looked like a freaking calico. There were dark splotches, sun-bleached splotches, and streaks through it.
Yeah, and I'm likely not to see that. I'm likely not to see that.
It was no. This wasn't shades of difference. This was brightly different.
Yeah.
It looked like a calico that had silver streaks through it from my gray hairs.
Yeah.
All right.
And yes,
I might have to dye my hair longer in life. But it's not uncommon because part of the whole albino thing is your body, your hair, all that are sun sensitive.
mm-hmm.
So it just means that the sun sensitivities are getting me more as middle-age hormones are kicking in.
Okay. And I'm just saying that I'm unlikely to notice.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
And you're a doofus.
Well, there's that
And
too.
Henry is bitching in the back end.
For the longest time, my wife thought that I was just being a guy, and then she was like, "Wait, you actually can't tell the difference between this?" I'm like, "I can't," and she was like, "Oh."
Well, there is something to the being a guy thing because they've tested color shades and stuff like that with a whole bunch of different people.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And they found that the average woman does see over 30% more colors than males do.
There is that. I know this very well.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually part of what got me to look into this. I'm worse.
Oh, I believe you. I'm saying, but there's something to that anyways.
Yes, there actually is. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that what I'm talking about is worse to a degree that it's like, no. I actually am deficient here.
I believe you. I'm still shocked you couldn't see that because that's like literally dark brown versus almost whitish spots.
I actually couldn't see a difference there.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Robert April can tell that I fixed my hair, can he?
I try not to notice that sort of thing.
Ah, man.
It is safer to say, yeah, not okay, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Hey, he's saying he just didn't notice. I'm saying I can't notice. There is a difference. One of us is being political. The other of us is going, hi.
Not so much political, the matter just a matter of survival. Like, does it make me look fat? No, not at all. No.
Exactly, that's what he's doing.
Don't even look up. Yeah.
I don't do those things. I don't do the whole, does this make me look fat? Trust me, if I think it makes me look fat, I'm the first one saying it.
Oh, I know, but it's just, but this is the same conversation.
Bunch of dorky men. Where? That cat's in here now.
Uh-huh.
Want to say hi to him?
Is that why the alarm's going off? Because I'm in here?
No, it's because the doors.
The door open with a key in the ignition. It's meant to close the damn door.
I know.
Mhm.
No, I think it's because I'm in here. It was no sign I'm here, and the alarm's going off.
Right,
That's what's happening.
Back on.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Anyway, she's
Well, well, yes. I mean, the alarm goes off right after I come in. Obviously, it's because it knows I'm here, right?
something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you.
Oh Lord.
And obviously, I'm not actually coming at her for anything.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to get her to laugh and stuff because I know what's going on.
Yeah, they're taking Athena to her mom.
Yeah,
So,
don't worry. I completely.
they sort of were she's happy up back there. She seems enjoying the film.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I have kind of been there with whoop and we're back.
I know.
Hello!
It always does when the car has to be reset.
Mm.
One sec, I gotta try to fix the sound now.
No, it sounds
Is
fine.
Is it actually going to be 1 second or more?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
There we go. Now I can
All
actually
right.
hear you guys.
Okay.
You exist to me now.
Hey, that actually might have been 1 second. That's cool.
Only if you're a dweeb. Are you a dweeb?
Yes, I am.
At least you
Bad.
Say hi to Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Mhm.
Hola.
Okay.
Oh, always good to see Steve.
Oh yeah. Make sure he keeps both hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Road, head.
Or at least one of or at least one of the eyes on the road. At least one of them.
Yes.
How about no hands on the steering wheel?
Yes.
Well, as you already mentioned earlier, your other part isn't big enough to drive the wheel, so
You
keep your hand on it.
You better
Oh,
have
yeah.
one knee up there somewhere.
Hmm? Oh God.
This is why I'm married to people, and you wonder why I'm screwed up.
Oh,
Kids,
yeah.
we're not
yeah.
Tesla, we are
Blame
trained
me.
professionals. Yeah. Trained by who? We don't know. Mhm.
Now it's time for me to drink a beer.
Shut up and get energy drink. Quit trying to get us in trouble. This is live on air. Why are you saying stupid shit to try to cause trouble?
Because I like trying to cause trouble. Now I'm all out of dinner. Where's my sandwich?
Hello, TROU, Billy.
I'm all out of lunch. I'm hungry without you. Now go to
Oh God.
me a sandwich.
God.
My sandwich munch.
So yeah, like all day, I've been playing Death Stranding,
Oh God.
and in Death Stranding, I've been just driving all over the
Oh,
country, going woo, and now you're driving all over the place. So
But
yeah,
for real.
not going woo.
Yeah. but exactly for real.
And we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
We're going to be sitting down for over
Look at
2
all
days.
that amazing scenery, right?
All right.
Can you actually see past the glare, huh?
No.
Oh yeah, that's great scenery. Yep.
What would they be doing right now? Eat blackness?
Well, we're just trying to figure out how to change the mouse under.
Off we go into the inky black darkness.
Oh, and they call it the Black Hills. They ain't lying, are they?
We haven't
Yep.
seen them yet. This is East River. This is the flat side of the state. This is where all the rednecks and idiots and racists go. I mean,
Oh God.
I think that.
we don't like East River, by the way. Can you tell?
Yeah. Never want to know. Okay.
I swear, I'm a good girl.
Uh-huh.
Are you sure?
Are you popular to boot?
No, but I am bitching. And I think it's that right there.
The old, Mae
That's
West
a lot
line.
there.
When she's good, she's very, very good. When she's bad, she's better. Yeah.
I kind of like the way Emily Autumn said it. When I'm good, I'm very, very good. When I'm bad, I'm flanking gorgeous.
Oh Lord.
I don't want to say blanking because I try not to switch my terms. He's not a big fan of swearing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh
I
Lord.
try to be respectful to him sometimes.
Oh. All right, where are we here? Let's take another
Yeah, let's
picture.
get the dignity.
I don't have any.
That's why we're going to visit the dignity statue so you can see what dignity would look like.
That's why we're on this thing here. We don't do. We're YouTubers. We can't afford dignity.
It's a short world after all.
Shut up.
Get the world
He said short, and the first thing I thought of was my friend. My head started. Who's under 5'6" that I can take a cheap shot at?
It's a short road after all.
Here's the funny thing.
Don't ever say that to a guy when he's naked or he'll
I've
break
seen you
down
in person.
completely.
I've never actually paid attention to how tall you are. I assume I'm probably taller than you, but I never paid attention.
If I can straighten myself against something, I'm about 2 inches taller than I actually stand. Because I have the back issues from being trampled.
Well, yes, but that's what I'm saying. I just never paid attention.
If I'm standing up against the wall, I'm over 5'8".
Okay, so yeah, I'm like 6 feet. So
and this
okay,
environment,
yes.
height is largely irrelevant.
My husband, however, here is actually an inch shorter than me. Oh, who's a good boy?
But this is how much I just don't give a shit. I never even thought about it to be able to tell.
Whoa, what?
Cut out.
I know that that cat is very subtly cut out on us over here.
What's that?
Right after I made my joke about his hair, let's patted him on the head, you cut out from us on this end.
Okay.
We are cutting out.
Yeah.
We're not too.
I'm cutting out on my side too. Sorry.
Come on.
We went back to Sneerful.
Come on.
What?
Testing. Actually work.
Yeah, we're what did I?
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing you now.
So,
Yay!
Dignity should not be far away, and it is a very beautiful statue.
If the lights aren't off.
If it's lit up. They sometimes light it up and they sometimes don't. So nighttime could be a bust. Because if it's not lit up, it's in the middle of the parking. It's in the middle of the hiking area around the visitor center up there. So it's out in the woods over the town. So if it's not lit up, you're not going to see it.
I'm gonna have to fire Fortnite after this to check something out.
We are almost to Chamberlain.
Apparently, Peter Griffin is finally in the Fortnite.
How about you? You could make Chamberlain the entry into the western South Dakota.
Yeah, we could tolerate the people in Chamberlain tend to not act like they're East River losers.
And so you could split the state north-south instead of east-west, right?
Well, to be fair, Chamberlain did half on one side of the river, half on the other, so it kind of is the split of the state.
They are the vanguard against East River.
Well, remember, North and South Dakota should be split as East and West Dakota.
They're holding back the crazies.
East River. Yes, I just flipped off the state behind me.
Yeah.
I hate this.
And Pierre can stay on that side and then use Fort Pierre as the.
Well, like when I was living out in California in Riverside, figured that was the boundary between reality and crazy town to the west, LA and all that. Figured this was as far as you go. It's far and stay in reality.
Reality. I was talking with my mom about the footprints I still can't explain that I photographed in the Badlands a month ago.
And here's one of my this is one of my kitties.
Are we talking Sasquatch here or what?
Kind of almost beyond that. These footprints look like you took a basketball player's feet and stuck grizzly claws on them.
That's a damn big bear. Yeah.
That's not a bear. The foot shape was wrong.
True. Yeah.
These were freaky footprints. And we found them when we were out with his dad and stepmother. And I have pictures of them on my computer at the house when I get back.
Yes,
Yeah.
stepmom.
They are freaky.
Yeah.
footprints, and I could not figure out what these were.
Could
And I
it
just keep
be?
thinking about the fact that
Yeah. Well, we
in
lost
the, hopefully he'll think right back. In the Badlands is supposed to be the gateway to basically hell,
it.
and
Okay.
Tall Man is supposed to be an oversized form of a Sasquatch who is supposed to be the one to corrupt children and cause them to commit suicide and crime.
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
I'm thinking,
considering where these footprints were found, I'm like, you know?
okay, taking a more natural history approach here, is it possible it is just a big grizzly with the footprints kind of over that one overlapping?
Or you could have had a
These were really human-shaped feet.
or you could have a grizzly carrying away a person.
No.
And perfectly walking in their steps right at the
Or
top.
they could be holding the foot, the leg, in the.
A very tall person out walking his pet Cody. Yeah.
I don't know. It's really, because I
And we're-
believe that everything in mythology is something we were trying to explain in science.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, I do believe there's things beyond this realm that we don't understand. These footprints
Definitely.
have me baffled.
We could be talking to Kodiak and needs, or a Sasquatch in need of a pedicure.
Maybe it
I
was a
pro-
Sasquatch who desperately needed a figure.
Yeah.
I do need to actually bow out, but I just wanted to come on to
Oh, okay.
say everything, but just love. I'll support you. Everything.
Well, if you're going to be in the chat for a few more, we are getting very close to Chamberlain, so we'll see if we can actually show you guys Dignity.
Oh.
What?
okay.
I said if you're going to be in the chat for just a little bit longer, we're getting very close to Chamberlain. I'll see if I can show you guys Dignity, show you the statue.
Oh, if you're close, then I'll definitely stay in.
Kimball is like 15, 20 minutes from it. We left there when we had switched the phone over, which was several minutes ago.
Those lights, that's the parking lot lights.
Yep, I can actually see the parking lot lights for it up ahead. So we're like really close.
So we're
Okay,
we're going to
I'll stick around then.
something we never see on these streams. Dignity.
I'm on here, damn it.
Well, you're on here. That's the point. Me.
I'm not touching that. Okay.
I know where you live.
Yes, you do.
Mhm.
You also know my sense of humor.
And you know mine.
But more importantly, she knows where you sleep. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Now here's the thing. If she were to come at night, she might actually come when I'm not here, because with the way that I work, I do overnights elsewhere.
Mhm.
So.
Yep. I've actually picked up from some of them when we went out to hang out.
So again,
Yes.
she knows
But-
where you sleep. She knows when you sleep. Okay.
No, she actually doesn't, because that changes based on a schedule that I don't make.
Where he works a lot.
But
Yeah. Not even I choose that.
the point is, you are not safe.
No, the point is that she could that she could choose the wrong place.
The point is, I get along with your wife.
That's true.
That's another danger.
That's an intelligence asset that cannot be bought. Again, you are not safe.
Nah, I'm still safe. My wife loves me.
But she also
For
loves
now.
helping me torture you.
I didn't say you're gonna die.
No. There are fates
No.
far worse than that. I mean,
It's like Richard Pryor had, in fact, he had Dobermans. And Dobermans are a strange kind of dog. They're not like Rottweilers. No, Dobermans. Oh, yeah. Someone breaks into the house.
You turn it.
It's like, the Dobermans, you break into a house. Oh, yeah, okay. Something to play. Come on. Here's the juice over here. Oh, here's the shine over here. Here's the money over here. And then you try and
Go
leave.
down the hill, turn around, come back.
They try and leave, though. And they'll just like, boom. Oh, no.
In order to do it.
well, why don't we look and
leave.
we go towards it and see what we
I
can do?
want to play. And they find you the next day.
It's not like it's that far out of alignment.
Help me.
Let's look. I can see it from the roadway. Let's find out if it's worth doing the work to get around the construction to get into.
It's like Dobermans will suck you in, and then they'll turn very, very evil on you. Okay.
Because apparently
You
the
will
main
pray
exit
for
we
death.
take here is closed. So if we're going to do this, we'd have to take the detour around. So I'm going to see if I can see the lights and if it's worth doing.
And I had to get some water.
Okay.
So hold on. a minute.
So give me just a moment.
No.
This is a horrific construction zone right now.
No, we shouldn't give her anything. No, because she was just talking about coming at me. So why should we give her anything?
So every time you laugh like that, God, you're such a tweet.
I can't do it. I just sound airy when I try it.
Don't leave me open with jokes like that, please, hon. It's so easy.
I was telling Rosetta earlier that she comes to see us.
You
Yeah,
bad.
yes.
The Stanley Hotel will be in order.
Yeah, good luck trying to get that room. Okay.
Oh, depends on when she comes.
She's trying to push a stay at the Stanley Hotel, room 217.
I mean,
I have no
I'm
idea
actually
what
being
here,
I'm actually being quiet here.
where?
Yeah, you're actually being relatively behaved. What the hell's wrong with you?
Because it sounds like real life shit's going on. I'm trying to be nice.
No. I think because of the construction, no. I can see it there, but it's not lit up well.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Construction is a bitch
Oh
ass.
my God, partly lit.
So as
Yes,
always,
visible
no
kind
dignity
of
on
up
the
the
screen.
hill. There's kind of. They've got partial lights. They don't have the actual lighting through the blanket. But that was the statue up there. A big light spot up on the hill.
Frankenstein.
We are about to cross the Missouri River.
Mm-hmm.
See? This is Chamberlain.
Oh,
Not a lot here.
all they see is construction.
If they can even see that. Ah! I have a tendency usually to listen to or sing Shenandoah when I cross it. And it talks about crossing the Missouri and the mighty Missouri in it.
Hmm.
And there's actually a town named Shenandoah just off the Missouri River, just inside Iowa down there, I think.
Hmm.
So I have a tendency to. But this, yes, we're crossing the Missouri River right now.
Okay.
We'll
The
take
mighty
your word-
Missouri.
Yeah, we'll take your word for it there, because
Not exactly the mighty Mississippi.
Slightly smaller actually in width. Depending on the spots, they switch actually, which is thicker depending on where you are.
it's no slouch
Mississippi's
river.
bigger, but they're both really thick across.
But the Missouri is not a slouch of a river either. Okay?
No.
It's not like Clear Creek out here. You just wade across the damn thing.
No.
No.
No,
It's still in the top largest rivers on the continent.
Yeah.
the Columbia.
Mhm.
Roll on, Columbia, roll on. Roll on, Columbia.
One of the things is my dad always actually kind of liked the Missouri River,
Mhm.
and he wanted for a long time to see the Mississippi. He did get to see the Mississippi before he died.
Yeah.
A few years before, they actually came over to see us for a little bit, and I actually took him up part of the Mississippi. He got to see the American Pickers shop. He got to go through the roads through the river and actually visit the towns in the river and stuff like that on the Mississippi. And
Mhm.
he actually did get to see those things over there he wanted to see so much.
Yeah. Well, we did a riverboat thing when I was a little kid. Down where about? Must have been Tennessee area.
So now we got how much longer to drive, hon?
Probably in about maybe another 40 minutes. And then we'll be crashing somewhere.
We are not crashing, you asshole.
Crashing.
Phrasing. Yeah.
Sorry,
I do.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
I do actually have to head out though.
I know. I'm sorry it was a bust. I wanted to show it to you guys.
Oh well.
No.
Again, no dignity on the stream. No.
Maybe I'll either share some pictures of it with you or show you guys it on the way back.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Or
Cool.
just set up a stream for a little bit after Murdo, and we can.
Something the daylight.
And you guys can do it again.
So yeah, I'll let you know when I'm heading back that way. Maybe we can try again.
Okay.
Definitely. Have a good night.
Okay.
And have it as good of a night as you can. Is
Well,
the way that I put it.
It's midnight here, so we're
It's almost, it's like 1:30 here. So yeah.
I'm here for a little bit further.
That's why I said in about 40 minutes we'll be crashing somewhere.
Yeah.
Again,
But don't actually crash.
yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay, that's the sign I need to sign out.
Okay.
You get tired.
Yeah.
Tell Steve not to actually crash.
He can hear you.
No,
Yeah,
I know. I'm sure you can. Don't crash.
Mhm.
We don't need that.
Too hard. Me.
Not too hard.
Personal experience. It's not a good idea. Okay.
Yes, it's not good.
Yeah. You see this? Start right there. You know,
Just don't do it.
over here. Yeah. The thing. This is where they had to put my arm back together. Okay. And
Yeah.
here, too. Okay.
And I'm just saying, I know who's driving the car. Steve,
Luckily, I have
don't
no
crash.
Okay. I got a scar in the back of my
So
head.
I
There's
get
no
you now.
scar
I
under
can
that.
crash. I can go crash, right?
What was that?
That's why I got cat. That's why I
So
got cat.
he can't crash because he's driving. I get a crash now. I'm tired.
Yes, as far as being tired, you can crash. He can't crash because he's the one that's driving.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. Don't crash.
Really wanted and
No,
shut up. I'm not doing those activities now.
turn off the light, then you can.
Yeah.
On that note,
How much clearance is between that steering wheel and his crotch anyway, huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh, darn, someone calling. Oh well.
Oh dear.
Probably her mom. Anyway,
Yeah.
probably a good time to break off anyway. So, it's like,
Have a good night.
you too. Okay. All right. So,
But by the way, it's actually good to talk with you as well, not just with her.
Oh well, hey. That's why I throw these things. Okay, I don't want to just get on here and monologue for God's sake. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just do a video.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In which case, the live stream is because I'm too lazy to set up a video. So.
Nee. Well, the way that you do that is that you then and do it when you're playing a game, and then you're monologuing while you're playing a game.
As soon as I can figure out how to get NetGlab or Streamlabs set up, because I had at one point, so I could actually stream. I had it set up at one point where I could actually stream Fortnite with that and do the thing, but it doesn't work well with StreamYard. It doesn't do the sound, and also
No, it can.
It not well with StreamYard here. This one here, I can do this picture, but it won't transfer the sound over. Which is
Do you have one or two monitors?
I got two monitors.
If you tell it to do the entire screen,
Well, I don't know.
it'll work. The reason why I say that is because I've been experimenting with this myself, and the motherfucker, when I tell it to do just a window, it will not do it.
I never tried that one. Okay, share entire.
But if I tell to do the entire screen,
there we go.
and it'll do the entire, and it'll get the sound as well.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
This is my own going with it.
Okay. That's usually where the stuff gets found out. But you screw the instructions, just punch buttons.
Yeah, but because I had people in because I thought I had it right, and then I had people going, I'm not hearing anything. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I got to look at it. Okay, so I'll try that tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing with that. I don't like it. It pisses me off because I don't like giving the entirety of my screen. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't need me in the picture anyway, so it doesn't make much difference there. But.
Well, I never do either, but it makes me worried that if I make an accident and then and instead of the game display, it shows my actual desktop. I'm like, don't do that.
Well, I got a very nice desktop. It's a little picture of the Enterprise blasting on asteroid.
Well, yes, but I have a lot of things on my desktop.
Wow. None of my eyes are particularly rude, and I think, not going to be able to see much.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anything does, but have you seen the attention to detail some of those people that do the hater shit? Go, you have this one little thing. This one little thing here. And then they do the entire conspiracy board thing. And then they're able to actually use that to get you.
My assistant requested Elster here, so I think it's good to just wrap it up here. So
anyway, yeah, but that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like I'm not that concerned. Just yeah.
All right.
Anyway, have a good night.
Enough there. Thanks for dropping by there, and we'll catch up with everybody later. And
thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Not a problem. And
have a good night.
We will talk at you later.